What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This story has come out of nowhere, like Anthony Gordon flying over his handlebars. It's popped off, it's come straight at us, and this is a big one. In terms of transfer stories for Liverpool, this is probably the biggest. Well, it's definitely the biggest of our window so far. So before we dive into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to make sure you got notifications turned on, because this one I think is gonna evolve over the next few hours. We're talking about something could potentially happen this weekend, so make sure you get the subscriptions in. And make sure you like the video if you do enjoy this content, because that really helps us out. But let's get into this big story. Now, it involves Anthony Gordon, who I won't waste too much time talking about the player. We all know who he is, of course, from his time at Everton, but also a massively successful season with Newcastle last season, as well as he's currently away with England at the Euros if you're watching them. But this story has to do with his links to Liverpool Football Club and a potential move that's gonna happen this summer, could even be happening this weekend. So there was rumblings throughout the sort of stratosphere, the Liverpool stratosphere last night, that something big was coming this morning, and it certainly did. Originally broken by Paul Ghust, his tweet said that Liverpool have turned down an offer to sign Anthony Gordon from Newcastle United. The Magpies also wanted Jarell Quansah as part of the deal, but Liverpool feel they are well stocked in the wide areas. Now, we'll build on that in a second, because that feels like a tactic by Liverpool to kind of suggest to Newcastle, look, we don't need him, but, you know, we'll take a look at your offers kind of thing. Obviously, they don't want to get rid of Jarell Quansah, which is totally understandable. We're already a little bit short in the centre-back area anyway. Certainly, it's a position we're going to be looking at, so to get rid of another one, that's not going to happen. But I think with them saying, look, we're well stocked in the wide areas already, I think that's just a tactic by Liverpool, because it's quite clear as we go on and as we see the story develop in this video, you're going to see that Liverpool definitely do like the look of Anthony Gordon, and there's definitely something going on here. But straight off the bat, I just want to say fair play to Liverpool for keeping hold of Jarell Quansah, because we know he's going to be a great talent going forwards, and we definitely can't afford to lose more players in that centre-back position. Anyway, moving on, Craig Hope from the Daily Mail, very well-respected journalist, by the way, as is Paul Ghust, but this guy as well, this story has been confirmed by Dave O'Cop, who was breaking all sorts of stories last summer involving Liverpool, so this comes with huge credibility as well. And he said that Newcastle were ready to sell Anthony Gordon to Liverpool this week, but talks over a move have broken down. The proposed deal included Jarell Quansah heading in the opposite direction, which was not right for Liverpool, as we've just discussed. There is a chance, however, that talks could be revived over the weekend. That's this weekend as of this video being uploaded. And LFC Transfer went on to expand that Newcastle need to sell before June the 30th to comply with profit and sustainability rules, and sources have confirmed that selling Gordon, albeit reluctantly, is one avenue that they have explored. Now, we also know that they kind of looked at trying to offload Bruno Guimaraes as well. The point is that it's got to be a big player that they get rid of, because they desperately need to shift those profit margins in order to be able to make signings this summer, and also so that they can comply with these rules and not get hit with who knows what could potentially happen, points deductions or whatever else that we've seen other clubs get last season. So Newcastle are in a sticky situation where they need to get rid of a player, and there's potential that this weekend Liverpool could take advantage of that in regards to Anthony Gordon. So the Guardian Sport also tweeted that Liverpool remain interested in signing Anthony Gordon this summer, despite talks a deal is broken down. There is still chance Liverpool move for Gordon this weekend, which I think is huge, because it probably does have to happen this weekend. It certainly has to happen soon for Newcastle's case, because they desperately need to alter those profit margins, which does in some ways put the ball in Liverpool's court, because Newcastle aren't really in a position to demand, and unless they can shift another player somewhere else or get more attention for Anthony Gordon from another club, which we're going to touch on in a second, they're in a really difficult situation where, you know, Liverpool can give them their best offer, and they're going to have to consider that, I think, is the way this is going to go. And I think we're going to see something this weekend, which is huge. But speaking of other clubs that could potentially be in for Anthony Gordon, here's what Fabrizio Romano, the big one, of course, had to say over this in a live stream he did today. Liverpool have genuine interest in Anthony Gordon, and the player is open to the move. At the moment, there is no agreement, which we know, but the interest is still there. Keyword, still there. Liverpool are the only club in for Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon would take the opportunity to join Liverpool. Crucial hours ahead. As I said, there's a chance that this gets done this weekend. But also, I think the fact that Anthony Gordon wants to go to Liverpool, we know he's a boyhood Red. Despite the fact he played for Everton, he is a boyhood Red, supports Liverpool Football Club. It's probably a dream move for him. And also, it would appear that the only club interested in signing Anthony Gordon right now is Liverpool. So again, balls in our court, no competition, and Newcastle are desperate to offload a player. this could be a real opportunity for Liverpool to capitalise on a sale of Anthony Gordon. The big thing for me though is this throws up a couple of questions regarding what Liverpool's strategy is in this transfer window. Of course, if we sign Anthony Gordon, he's a left winger. So what does that mean for the current players at the club, and what does it mean? What's the strategy here for Liverpool? Do you sign Anthony Gordon as a left winger and play him on the right wing as a rotation option for Mo Salah? Because ultimately that's the position we need to fill. It's the reason we all were desperate to try and get 𝘍𝙍 over the line. We needed a right winger. Of course, that's not happening now, but could Anthony Gordon be that player? Well, he did play 3 games last season for Newcastle on the right wing, so it's not like it's a position he's unfamiliar with. There's potential that could happen, but it just seems like an odd choice to me. With him being a natural left winger, it seems odd that they would spend what is probably going to be a lot of money. Regardless of Newcastle's position, Anthony Gordon's an English player. You know, he's playing in the Premier League. He had their breakout season last season. It's not going to be cheap if we make this move. Are they going to buy a left winger and try and force him into a right winger? I don't know. But obviously there is another avenue Liverpool could be going down here, and that involves Luis Diaz, which we know there's been link after link after link for a while now with Barcelona. Is there more to this Diaz story than Liverpool are letting on? Personally, I think honestly that is the most likely scenario, because it's strange to me that Liverpool would buy a left winger and try and turn him into a right winger, especially one that's going to be so expensive, when we could just look at a right winger. So if Anthony Gordon came in as a Luis Diaz replacement, my question, I guess, is would you be happy with that? I'm going to be honest and say that I absolutely would. I think he is a better player than Luis Diaz, and the stats back that up. You know, Anthony Gordon last season in 48 appearances, he had 12 goals and 11 assists. That's 23 goal involvements in 48 appearances. Luis Diaz appeared in 51 games for Liverpool last season, registering 13 goals and 5 assists. So that's an 18 GA for Luis Diaz compared to a 23 GA for Anthony Gordon, who played less games. And we're talking about a player here that played for Newcastle United in the Premier League, so you can't use that age-old excuse of like, oh, it's such and such a league, the competition isn't as good. The competition was exactly the same, and he did perform better. I do think Diaz underperformed last season. I'm not saying sell Luis Diaz or whatever, but if there's a chance to get Anthony Gordon, who's a far younger player, bigger ceiling, and there's an option here to sell Luis Diaz to a club like Barcelona for a decent fee, it just makes sense to me. Anthony Gordon's going to be expensive, but if we can offload the player for a decent price at the same time, that kind of takes that fee down for us as well. To me, that makes the most sense. I can't see us bringing in another left winger because we're so stacked there. Jota can play left wing, Gakpo can play left wing. He's doing phenomenal for the Netherlands right now in the Euros in that position. Of course, Luis Diaz plays left wing, and even Darwin Núñez can play on that left wing. We don't need another left winger unless we're letting someone go. And the links surrounding Luis Diaz and Barcelona have not gone away. It's possible that Barcelona can't talk to the player at the moment because he's, you know, busy with the Copa America competition. We know with England, Gareth Southgate's already mentioned that he is allowing players to talk to clubs in terms of potential moves. So that includes Anthony Gordon and that includes Liverpool. Conversations can go on there. Something could genuinely happen this weekend regarding that. There may be that Liverpool know a little bit more about Diaz and the Barcelona situation as well. We're gonna have to wait and find out on that one. And so, you know, I would genuinely suggest subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, so you can keep up to date with that story. But the key thing to take away from this is that something could genuinely happen this weekend, maybe even in the coming hours. The interest from Liverpool for Anthony Gordon is real, and Newcastle need to sell a player very, very soon. So definitely stay tuned to the channel, guys. Hit subscribe, get your bell notifications on, and give the video a like if you have enjoyed it. As always, thank you very much for watching. We will see you soon, hopefully with some great news surrounding Anthony Gordon. Let's see what happens. Peace.